Many people think of science as fact and unchanging. In reality, it is always in motion. From the discovery of cells to the classification system used today, biology has always been a changing field. The basis of biology is the scientific method. The scientific method is creating a hypothesis, testing to attempt to disprove that hypothesis, and then releasing the results to the scientific community. So what exactly is biology? According to dictionary.com, biology is the study of living organisms. It is a branch of science that focuses specifically on living things. There are several conditions that have to be met in order for something to be categorized as living. They are that the organism has cells, uses energy, reproduces, undergoes homeostasis, responds to stimuli, senses the environment, adapts to the environment, has a high degree of organization, and has DNA. Some of these characteristics of life can be very difficult to identify in some organisms. However, advances in technology have helped biology progress. For example, microscopes have allowed scientists to examine specimens in depth. Microscopes have also allowed scientists to see individual cells and even inside cells. This insight into cells has allowed scientists to categorize cells into two main types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic means before kernel or before nucleus. Prokaryotic cells don't have a true nucleus, just a clump of DNA in the center of the cell. Eukaryotic means true kernel or true nucleus. Eukaryotic cells have a nucleus with a nuclear membrane protecting and enclosing the DNA. Cells have to have a method of gaining energy in order to power themselves. There are two methods of cells gaining energy: photosynthesis and respiration. Photosynthesis is done using chloroplasts, and it converts carbon dioxide and water into glucose, oxygen, and water using light energy. Respiration is done using mitochondria and converts glucose, oxygen, and water into carbon dioxide, water, and energy in the form of a chemical called ATP. An important process that cells also carry out is reproduction. Cells have two ways to reproduce: mitosis and meiosis. The main difference is that mitosis produces offspring genetically identical to the parent cells, while meiosis produces offspring with slight differences. Mitosis literally splits a cell in half in order to double itself, while meiosis involves a cell creating a partial copy of itself and then combining copies in order to form new cells with variation. Other organisms reproduce as well, and the chain of ancestry is called heredity. Each organism has some similarity to its ancestors, as well as variation. The variation is caused by genes, which are studied by a branch of science called genetics. Genetics has been widely used in order to artificially create new organisms, such as tomatoes that stay ripe longer or trees that are more resistant to disease. Genetics are also being used in order to help solve crimes, as the pattern of genes in each organism is unique. The chain of ancestry of all animals leads back to one common ancestor, billions of years ago. The many types of organisms today are categorized into groups because of taxonomy. Taxonomy takes all organisms and uses similarities and common ancestors to group them together into categories. There are many levels of categories. Every organism has a scientific name based on taxonomy. For example, humans are Homo sapiens, from the genus Homo and the species Sapiens. The many species that exist today are a result of evolution. Evolution is a process that is driven by natural selection. Natural selection means that the fittest organism, or the one best suited to survive, will survive and create offspring also suited to survive. Over millions of years, the species can change drastically to fit changing environments and even split into different species. After billions of years, evolution has split life into the kingdoms that we know today: Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, and Animalia. So next time that you see an apple on a tree or watch a bird flying in the sky, remember all of the effort and time that has been used in order to learn more about these organisms, and all that is yet to be learned.